Side of that tube are two permanent magnets that create a magnetic field between them. So as the electrons rocket away from the filament, the magnetic field causes them to begin to spiral and form a circular pathway. And because they're constantly changing direction, they're being accelerated. As a result, produce a continuous flow of microwave radiation. Sometimes called cyclotron radiation, or in the largest accelerators around the world, synchrotron radiation. It's actually you push those particles to higher and higher velocity. They're producing more and more electromagnetic radiation that is taking away energy from the particles, so they constantly feed electric power into the grid. So it's a limitation. For us, it's the purpose. Now, directed this way. In a typical oven, you want them to distribute evenly through the oven to eat your food and not have any hot spots. But we want the energy not to be localized right in front of the magnetron. We want it to be way down range. That you can see over there is very bright and visible inside of a lit warehouse. It's also visible outdoors in daylight. And at night, you can actually see the beam as it's transversing across the atmosphere. It's kind of pretty. Now, mounting this thing, it has to obviously get the beam past the antenna and to get it cantilevered out here to get pair. But that makes this a little vulnerable, maybe a little shaky, and it also introduces some parallax issues because you're not coming from the same source. So, simple solution, I mounted this directly on the plastic carefully, and then turned it on and saw where it was hitting the antenna. Then I simply drilled a 1 centimeter hole in here, allows it to get through. An interesting thing about electromagnetic radiation is that once the aperture or an opening that you're trying to get the radiation through equals the wavelength of the light that you're using, in this case 12.5 centimeter radiation, you begin to get attenuation of the light through that hole, or the radiation through that hole. When you get down to about 10% of the wavelength, it's negligible. Very, very little of the electromagnetic radiation, the microwaves in here, can get back out at us through this hole. It's another reason why the intermittent wells are perfectly acceptable. From the microwave's point of view, it is leak-free and perfect. The question, does it work?
I had to put it on the ground first, but it'll probably work good.
Okay, like that.
Yeah, so you can see the light is solid now, so it means connected.
All right.
Take off. And I can just sort of keep it here.
Yeah. All right. Firing the microwave in 3, 2, 1. It works.